No, I'm not fishing in my backyard. I've got a little lake, but I'm not fishing in my backyard. Today, instead of grill on, well, actually, we'll do the grilling, I promise. But we are going to talk about catching fish. And when we say, what do we do when we get a fish on the line? You say, fish on! That's right. So today we're going to have a special edition of Fish On in the Gulf of Mexico with my buddies Alan and Gordon. And we're going to do some fish, and then we're going to bring them home, cook them up a couple ways, and probably get the wok out and do some frying. Hang on. Here, Alan and Gordon and I get an early start in Orange Beach, Alabama. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning. It's very calm waters. You can see the sun coming up at that time in it was late July when we were doing this. So it was been a series of 100-degree days. Weren't sure what today was going to bring comfort-wise. But there's a few other people on the boat, and we have lots of poles, and we've got a deckhand, and we've got plenty of bait. So we'll start off by heading out to sea, and you see other boats that are going there. There's a big green egg on board, and if you've been fishing, you know what that's for, in case you overcatch your limit. Sometimes people will bring that in, but man, it doesn't take long for the first fish to hit. We're trolling a few fish and come up with this big mackerel. Hold it up, Alan. And then after that, we were just really enjoying the day, catching fish every few minutes. And we got Spanish mackerel, we got king mackerel, we got red snapper, lots of red snapper. And it was just that time of year, so let's take them home, cook them up. At least that's the plan. When we get back to dock, they start to take a look at all of the fish that we've got, and people put them on display and take lots of pictures and stuff. Then your deckhand will clean the fish for you. And watch how he does this. It's expertly. First goes down the rib cage, lifts it over, and peels off the skin, tosses the rest away. It leaves nothing but those beautiful fillets. And that's what we're going to be cooking them with today. Are those red snapper fillets. You see them cutting right there. We got all the fish home, and I vacuum sealed my portion. And I marked them and dated them. I think that was the June 30th date I saw on there. Fire up some charcoal. Got most of a chimney full of charcoal going. While that's heating up in the grill, I'm going to go ahead and mix up the wet materials here for our fish dredge, and start with a couple eggs. And then I'm going to add this Valentino sauce. Adds a lot of flavor. Good bit of salt already in it, so be conscientious with that. But don't be afraid of it either, because it's not all that spicy hot. I am adding yellow mustard. The yellow mustard is going to add adhesion so it sticks to the fish better, the dredge, and it also has a good bit of flavor because I just like the mustard flavor. Give it a good mix and thorough. Should be falling off the fork and not necessarily running through the tongs, but drizzling off of it is a good description of it. We're going to be using some Kentucky Kernel seasoned flour dredge, and it's really good. We're going to use the Tony Chachere Cajun seasoning to make that flavor even more intense. I got lucky. I had stored the flour last time I used about half a box. I stored the other half in a Ziploc bag, so we're going to get to use that again today, and it's a very windy day. So I was kind of afraid of what was going to happen when I got that flour into the wind. So it's pretty lucky that that was good to go there. So good, doing something right. seasonings all mixed together, all the dry materials next, and zip it up and give it a good mixing, because it's very important. That way you don't end up with clumps of raw flour or clumps of high season. Set up your dredge station, and while you're doing that, go ahead and get your oil heated up. You're shooting for a temperature of about 350 degrees. You don't want that thermometer to rest on the bottom of the pan. You'll get a false reading. Now this is the fish. We just saw him clean at the dock, and I have found very little in the way of bones in it. So let's go ahead and get the dredge going here. We're going to do a dredge on the flour, and that one is going straight on the rack. The rest are going to get the wet dredge, and then the dry dredge behind it. We got 2 in this batch. You just have to be careful that they don't stick together. I'm going to control the temperature by pulling it on and off of this offset fire. I've got all my charcoal to one side in a single basket. This whole side has no heat on it at all. I can actually see the thermometer walking back down. I'm going to use my slotted spoon, give it a flip. And we're really going to cook this till it looks right. Red snapper with the extra drip, and I love doing this outside, so if you have any spills or splashes, my wife doesn't mind it so much. All right, and I'm putting it on baking sheet here with a raised rack on it. Got a new toy while that's frying. My wife got for us. Set it right down. Keep an eye on my temperature. Temperature gets too low, then your oil is going to soak into the fish batter, and you're not going to get a fried fish. It's going to be a oil-soaked fish. So don't let it get too low. Give it time to recover in between each batch of fish, and make sure you have a significant heat source that can keep up with the cook that you're doing. Hardly any dropped off. Good sign. Let that rest. All right, let's go test it out, but it smells fantastic. Yeah. Fish on. Fish on. Okay, that was fun. Today we fried the fish that we caught on our fishing trip. I only wish my buddies Alan and Gordon were here to share it with me, but I'll have a taste in their behalf. Let's take a fine slice here. I went ahead and prepared some homemade tartar sauce here. I like it a little thin, with chunky pickles, a little mayo, a little seasoning, and a little lemon. The flakes look delicious inside. Let's take a taste. Oh, I don't know how I timed this just in time for lunch. So I'm going to take it to my wife here in a minute. Let her have a chance at it. But man, that good fresh fish is so good. I'm going to have another. Okay, fish on. Thank you so much for joining me for today's cook and our fishing trip. It's a good time to subscribe. Tell your friends, your neighbors. If you've got multiple email accounts, subscribe on those too. I need every subscriber I can get right now. So thanks again for grilling on. I appreciate your loyalty. I'll put up some links to a related cook right at the top here. I think it's going to be on this side. So today's fried fish. Grill on, like, subscribe. I appreciate your time. Have a great day. Need another one of those. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh.